My name's Steve Heyman, and we just got back from convention a little over a week ago. I wanted to just put this video together because before I went to convention, everybody said over and over and over, convention is a game changer. And it really is. So I put this together to just go over why it's such a game changer. Now, if you didn't attend convention, no worries. There's a lot of reasons why you may or may not have been able to attend. That's not the intention of this. It's put together to hopefully share some of the enthusiasm that I have coming back and hopefully get you put on your calendar to shoot for attending next year's convention. So here's my top 10 list of why convention is a game changer. Well, let's scratch that because nobody can actually come out with 10 things that they think is a game changer. So I settled on 14. 14 is my lucky number. It's Pete Rose's number. It's my baseball number too, so I'm going with 14. Sorry, Dave. So number 14, we're all leaders. Now, this really started to resonate with me when we came back from convention. Didn't think about it so much while I was there, but Angela and I had just turned gold the month before convention in April. And so when we were at convention, people kept asking us, maybe they were silver or maybe they were not even silver yet. How did you get to gold? So this started hitting me this week that, if you've got a single customer, if you've got a single ambassador, you're a leader. So, people are looking up to you. They're looking for you for advice. So learn your products. Learn as much. You need to do research. The question we kept getting asked was, well, how did you get to gold? And, it really surprised me so many people were asking because, we're always looking at the gems. We had Christine and Ergay just went emerald. And that's kind of, we're like, how did you do that? But there's somebody looking at you and watching you, whether it's your team, whether it's your customers. So know this, you're a leader. I would say, I'm not going to go into the details of how we went gold, but it's the same thing we heard over and over or at convention. Be consistent, be persistent. Don't let the highs and the lows change your focus and what you're doing, but you're a leader. So start picking up books, start reading. Leaders read, and I think that's important that you need to be thinking of yourself as a leader. Number 13, bottomless pink drink. Now, who wouldn't want bottomless pink drink? I mean, guys, I love my pink drink. One of the themes when people were asking me last week how we went to gold, and I think it's real important. Be a product of the product. Now, we all know that Plexus is so much more than weight loss, so it doesn't have to be that I lost 15 pounds, but the Slim does so much more than weight loss. I mean, you've got people that need weight gain. You've got people with, to me, everything starts with Slim, so, bottomless Slim was my theme just because, I think it's important that be a product of the product. Take the products, get to know your products, extremely important. Number 12, live testimonies. Man, I'm trying not to tear up here because when you can see somebody's body language, you can feel what they're saying. Incredible testimonies. I'm not going to go into all the testimonies. In fact, I'm probably just going to talk about 2 right now. But from our blessed team, Ergay, oh my gosh, been praying for Arda for a while, and just to have her share her testimony, and she's hilarious. I mean, you should have seen her on the dance floor at the 80s party. Yeah, pretty awesome. But, her just sharing her heart of where she was, where she is, just really touched me. And Richard Chamberlain's the other one I want to talk to because, Richard had lost a lot of weight with Plexus and had the courage to get up on stage and say, you know what, life happened. I got off track. It wasn't Plexus. It was me. And had gained a bunch of the weight back. Not all of it, but quite a bit of it back. And now he's lost all that he lost before, and I think a little bit more. But, the truthfulness, the genuineness, when you're there in person to see somebody's body language, to feel them, the presence of everybody, the testimonies were just amazing because, we have real products with real people. And if you listen to one, all the different testimonies and you didn't, get a bit emotional, then there's something wrong with you. I wasn't going to bring this one up, but Haley DeJacques was another one that was amazing. The ability, because if you know anybody with a military background, and I know we had some military people on our team that we were talking after this, but to be able to buy her husband out of the military and buy him a Corvette that his dad said, you'll never have another one, man. This business isn't about the money, honestly. There's money to be made, and and it's there for the taking, but it's about the dream. It's about the dream of the freedom for your family, what it can do for your family, both health and just changing your family history. So live testimonies were awesome. Number 11, First Class, over-the-top company. Now, Angela earned the winner's dinner, so we went to that Friday night. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I mean, everything that they did was just top-notch. If you didn't feel special, if you didn't feel like you were just part of the most amazing company, it was just incredible. So, I just say that because, what a way to be able to just celebrate with your employees to have a major bash like that. But everything was top-notch. Top-notch speakers. I mean, you had Big Al, you had Les Brown, you had Troy Dooley. I mean, the band at the 80s party, top-notch. I mean, everything was done first class, all the way, the right way. You guys probably saw we got back from convention and there was a typo on our bags, and they've reprinted them. There's 8,000 people at convention. Those bags, we'll call them $10 a piece, $20 a piece. That's $8,000 or 16 grand or whatever to reprint those. But the company does things the right way. This company's just amazing. So, First Class, over the top, number 11. Number 10, Contagious Atmosphere. This one's not an easy one to explain because it's just, you're around like-minded people, 8,000 like-minded people. It was amazing because my wife had started this Facebook page a couple weeks before convention called Emerald by Convention 2016, and that thing started to manifest while we were at convention. I don't know how many members we have of that now, but it's over 100, and to get other people on the same page that we are to be able to push one another. We may not make it to Emerald by Convention, but by God, we are going to work our tails off, and we've got people that are there to push us along the way. It's just incredible, though, just being around all the friends that you'd already met on Facebook and knew for a long time, but the atmosphere was absolutely contagious, and it was awesome, and we've rolled that into our life since we've come back, and hopefully we can share more about that with you guys if you're interested. But contagious atmosphere. Number 9, Plexus Leaders Up Close and Personal. This one was awesome for me because, we got to be around our leaders, and, the picture that I posted on the slide before that was my sister-in-law with Alec. What a genuine guy. I mean, we just bumped into him in the hallway. He was just so nice, so easygoing. The selfie was easy to take because he's like, yeah, absolutely, take that. But our leaders were just, it was just amazing to get to know them better. Tarl may not be, a speaker like Troy Dooley, but you can tell this guy loves us. And there's little things that most of us notice. He would go backstage while he's on stage, come back to bring a bottle of water to someone that may be sharing their testimony. I mean, find me one CEO out there that's like that. I don't think you're going to find many like that is willing to do the small things, and that speaks volumes. But when I was talking about Plexus Leaders, I'm not just talking about our leaders, and those guys are great, but the diamonds, the jewels. I mean, we're truly one Plexus, and I'll get to that in another slide, but it was amazing how, you could come up to, just anybody, take their picture. I mean, I'm proud of Chris and Susie because, those guys, I bet they had their picture taken with 5,000 or, realistically, probably all 8,000 people that were there, us included. But, just, they're open. They're available. Available is a great word. They're available to anybody. I mean, this truly is a company where everybody wants to see everybody succeed. They want to see us in Maui. They want to see us up on that stage. They want to see us at Leaders Retreat. So they're there to help. And it's not just talk. It's actions. And you see that when you're at convention. And I just love our Plexus leaders. Number 8, work hard, play hard. 80s party was a blast. Before I get into some of the fun things, I think it's important, you really, we all work this business, or a lot of people are working this business hard. I say we. Before convention, Angela was so much, she kills it. I mean, she's working this business all the time. I'm talking to her about balance a lot, family balance, work balance, but just being able to, this is kind of neat, how many people, if they could go back to high school with no cliques, no fighting, no any of that, none of that high school stuff, and go back and just freaking have a great time. Well, that was the 80s party. Love the music, love the arcade. Again, first class all the way. It was a fun time. I mean, you got to learn to just relax and have a good time, and to meet all the people that we got to meet there, and just to get treated like royalty. And it was just a blast. And I'm walking out of the 80s party. We weren't one of the ones that stayed till close. I am 45, not, anyways. But if we didn't leave when we did, we're going up the escalator, and a high school friend of mine's coming down the stairway, and Joe's like, Steve! And I'm like, it was amazing because haven't seen him since our 20th high school reunion. Just cool that Plexus has brought old friends and new friends alike together. But you got to learn to relax and have a little fun. I didn't really get into the costuming thing too much, but wait till Leaders Retreat. I'm thinking something. I won't be as boring as I was at convention, but it's going to be fun. And start thinking that way. Start thinking, I'm going to be at Leaders Retreat. Start looking at the flights. Start looking at, who's going to watch the kids. But you do not want to miss Leaders Retreat because it's going to be a freaking blast. Number 7, phenomenal training. Now, obviously, in just this few minutes, I can't explain everything that we learned, but it was just amazing. Saturday session, BB just knocked it out of the park. Great seeing, our blessed team get up there to be able to share and train. And Jen Hawkins was at our session too, and just an amazing time. Angela and I have gotten to know Jen because she's our only diamond here in Colorado, and just amazing training. The training that Big Al, Les Brown, Troy Dooley, it was incredible because you get real life examples of how you can make this business work. You get to know the products better. You get to know, hey, these diamonds didn't get to the top without struggling. Let me say that again. These diamonds did not get at the top without some struggles. They've had people quit on them. They've had customers quit. They've had people unfriend them, just like you have, just like me, just like you. And the cool thing is, like I've said previously, everybody wants you to be successful, and there's no hidden secrets. There's not Celeste over here holding back the information to go double diamond. No, not at all. Everybody's sharing. We want this company to be successful. We want everybody to be successful. Now I'm saying we, but that's the truth. That's what this thing is all about, is helping one another. And I think Chris McCall said this. He said, don't worry about rank. If you're genuinely trying to help as many people as possible, whether it's your customers, your ambassadors, rank's going to happen. And that's so true. So the training was incredible. And I know that more of that training is going to be shared because they videotaped all the sessions. Number 6, refocus and re-energize. Now, this one's a lot personal for me because, I came into the week, excited for what the products have done for me. Knew my wife was just going to be a rock star, no doubt about that whatsoever. But I got re-energized. I got refocused. I'm like, I can do this too, And we've always been a team, but I'll be honest, she was working it much harder than I was. But I'm totally re-energized, refocused. It's just, again, the atmosphere, that contagious atmosphere, being around people that, you hear this all the time, Plexus. I'm not a salesman. I'm not a salesman either. That's awesome. Just share your story. Share other people's stories. Be enthusiastic about the products. I mean, if you're not totally, there are athletes and celebrities that are all the time advertising a product, and they don't have the passion that we do. That's what makes Plexus so great. So be a product of the product and be passionate and share with everybody. I mean, so on the way back, we're flying back. There was a young lady at Spirit Airlines. As I'm checking in, I'm like, hey, because she was saying she was a little bit tired. And I said, well, have you heard of Plexus? And, so we started talking. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's that pink drink. She's like, I love it. So that was awesome. So then we went and grabbed some breakfast. And the lady there, the young lady, she was like, she had her head down on the table and was just, oh, I'm so exhausted. And I'm like, I've got something for you. Here's a sample. Gave it to her, gave her a business card. Then there were 2 ladies with United Airlines. I'm not even flying United, but I went over there to ask them a question. And the lady's like, because I wasn't sure we were in the right terminal. And the lady was like, well, I think this is your sign that you should be flying United. And I'm like, it's funny you say that because when we hear this is your sign, we talk about Plexus. And so it entered right into the conversation to talk to him about Plexus. So I'm now talking with people that I probably wouldn't talk to before about it because I've only been strictly the guy that shares only with his friends. When Angela would share at the grocery store or whatever, gosh, I hate to admit this, but I would tilt my hat at and I'd kind of walk out the store and pretend I wasn't with her. Just because I was out of my comfort zone. It wasn't that what she was doing was wrong. It was just, it wasn't something I'm comfortable with, but I've been changing that. Quick story. I'm in the jewelry store the other day to get my watch repaired, and don't prejudge anybody, and just that enthusiasm about the product. So guy was kind of crusty, kind of just didn't feel like he was very friendly at first when I met him, and I thought $25 to take 2 links out of a watch was a bit expensive, but whatever. And then he comes back and then he starts a conversation. He says, so does the O and the U on this watch stand for University of Oklahoma? I said, yes, sir. And he's like, well, I graduated from Oklahoma. And I'm like, oh, that's great. So it started a conversation. And we start talking and just build a little bit of a rapport. And then I hand him a business card, and I said, my business card has the products on the back and 60-day money-back guarantee. And he's like, he starts reading the card, and he's like, man, I've got these issues. I've got low blood sugar, and I've got a lot of gut issues. And he's 72 years old, and so we had a great conversation. And I'm telling him about, my wife lost her diamond in her wedding ring a few years ago, and he's just showing me all these new products, and we just built a relationship. And I said, do you mind trying to sample the pink trick? I said, I don't have one on me. And that was my mistake because, I'm getting more and more comfortable with this. But he's like, yeah, I would love to. So I rushed home, got him a sample, dropped it off. And Angela and I are going to look at rings this week and have a follow-up with him. But, I probably got a brand new customer. Who knows? Maybe an ambassador. He's going to love his new website. But I'm just energized, and that was something I got at convention. Number 5, one Plexus. Now, there's not a whole lot more I can add to this. Just being around the people all week, again, everybody was just so friendly, so helpful. It didn't matter if they were a sapphire, a diamond, emerald, silver, gold, none of that mattered. We were one team. Probably the neatest thing was when Les Brown was finishing, he had everybody put their hand out towards our leadership, and it was an incredible moment because everybody had that feeling, that desire to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, and to do that together, not as individuals, but to do it together, one Plexus. It's amazing, and it's true. Number 4, team building. And again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because it goes right into the whole one Plexus thing, but Angela and I got to spend time. We had 3 of our ambassadors that are under us that were there at convention, and we got to know them a lot better and spend time with them and help them at what they needed from us from a training standpoint and other things, and really just build a bond and relationship. And we had 3 this year. I hope to have my whole team there next year. I mean, it was incredible. And that has already sparked a lot of stuff in our business since we've gotten back. I mean, Ray, day after we get back from Phoenix, signs 4 ambassadors. 4. One day. Amazing. So that contagiousness, it's there. I mean, I'm telling you, convention is a game changer. The other thing is, just the team, the Blessed team, and getting to spend time with them, and actually getting to talk with them, especially being a guy. I mean, we are the minorities in this business, and that's okay. But to get to know the other fellows was awesome, and just that team camaraderie was it was worth everything. And again, I just tell you, go to convention next year because it's going to change your business. It's going to turn it upside down. It's a game changer. Number 3, convention will light a fire under your booty, your butt. I'm telling you, for me personally, and I'll get more into it in my number 2, but I mean, you've heard some of the enthusiasm of sharing with new people and doing things, but I know this. I know that I want to be up on that stage next year, and you can't do that if you're not working the business, if you're not a product of the product, if you're not passionate about this. And it's a game changer. I mean, that's what the theme of this whole thing is here today. It's a game changer, and I'm telling you, it will light a fire underneath your butt. Number 2, discover your why. Now, I had a why. A lot of us probably know our why by now, but your why is probably evolving. So my why initially was, my health. I have no more sinus and allergy issues, no more migraines. My arthritis is under control and hives. That part was always a part of my story, that health part. I've lost 31 pounds and 25 inches. But Troy Dooley, I'm pretty sure it was him that said this during one of the sessions, was saying, if your workplace brings out the worst in you most days, then maybe you're in the wrong place. And that hit me right between the eyes. I've shared in a video earlier this week, a little bit of my story. I got laid off a couple of years ago, and I don't want that to ever happen again, quite honestly. I want to be in control. I want my family to have the freedom. I said it earlier, it's not about the money for me. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy money just like anybody else. Dave Ramsey talks about it. Money is amoral. It's not good or bad. But I want to be in control of my future. I'm 45. I work in the IT industry, and I want to be able to work until I'm 65. I love working. Working is a part of me. I want to be active and busy and productive. But are they going to have a place for me in 20 years? And that really resonated with me. Of my why has changed, and that's probably why there's a fire lit underneath my butt. I mean, I want to change my family tree. I want to give my kids a future and hope. I want to be able to pay for their college and do things, vacations and stuff that we've not enjoyed in the past. And my why has changed. And last but not least, number 1, and I would think that most of the people that are at the top of this company, this is their number 1 too, and it's the relationships. Phenomenal relationships, and these are not, these are friends. These are family. I didn't not once feel like anybody was putting anything on for show to be my friend or pretend the whole time we were at convention. The hugs and just being able to see people, and then when you're leaving convention and you're sad, because you want to be around these people all the time. I mean, the relationships the best part of this entire company, and I'll be honest, this may be one of the biggest surprises of everything around Plexus. I mean, the compensation plan's amazing. The products are phenomenal. But the relationships, for me, just make this why this is so incredible. And you don't get that part when you're not at a convention. You don't get to hug on all those necks and see people for the first time and just, get to know them better. And looking forward to seeing everybody in DC. And I hope this video series was helpful to you and your team.